Yeah, I'm 67 years old. I'm one of those Westerners, older senior citizen Americans, but I look damn good for my age, though. I have a Nigerian husband, right?
Hmm.
I have a Nigerian husband. Okay. He reached out to me 2018 on Facebook. Innocent. It was innocent. He didn't really like, as far as I'm concerned, wasn't really kind of making contact with me. So, just average communication in terms of just recognizing hello. Fine. But 20, so I think it might have been once, maybe twice. I don't really even recall us really having any kind of communication during that time. He said possibly he was sending texts or messages from Africa, but maybe they was being blocked because he lived in Africa. Okay. So 2021, he reached out to me. This is where it all began. He reached out to me and he said, I don't give him no attention. So I said, I didn't know you're trying to get my attention. So I said, let's see if we have any chemistry. Okay, fine. So 2021, around
Please,
September, is when we
please, sorry. How old is he?
he says he's 45, but his Facebook has him as 38. Because after I've been through this situation, my friends say that he looked like he's 38. So I don't know what age he is, but
Okay.
I have him as 45. So I told him, I said, well, I can't have any children, and he says, well, children don't make a marriage. I'm like, okay. So then somewhere during the line, during that time, um, he mentioned afterwards that he has a daughter. Back then she was 6 years old. I'm like, okay, okay. So he said, well, maybe God knew that he was going to marry a woman that couldn't have children. So God have given him this child. Okay. So that was around, I'm going to say August, September 2021. 2022 in May. So we spoke all during that time, every day, text, audio, visual, we saw each other every day and we text. Every day he loved me, he loved me, he loved me, he loved me. Went to Nigeria. I stayed there and I went in May, got married, stayed there 5 months with him.
Mm.
Okay. This woman who I asked him about, because I said, this woman in this on your Facebook is saying that this boy is your child. He said, um, well, she had me go to, I think y'all have something like children and families or something like that. She said she called me over there to the office and she told me that the girl that she's going to take care. Now this is the story that I knew now, and recently I see where the story changed. Now the truth comes to light. He said this. He said the mother, baby mama, said that she's going to take care of the daughter, Honesty. Her name is Honesty. Take care of Honesty, and she's 5 months pregnant. She's 5 months pregnant, and she told me that she's going to take care of Honesty, and this man, a man, want to marry her because I didn't love her. I didn't want to marry her. I named the daughter Honesty because I was always honest with her. That's the story that I knew. Okay, when I was there, he calls her and he says, you've been calling me and telling me that you got something to tell me, but you never tell me. You never tell me. You never tell me. She said, the boy is yours. Now he told me that the man she's marrying, so he assumed it was that man's baby. The boy is yours. That's what he assumed when he talked to her at the office. But now she's telling him that the boy is yours. So she knew I was there. She knew I got married. She knew that him and I, that he was coming to America. Okay. So while I was there for 5 months. Um, so that's the portion of the story that I know, right? So when I was there, I stayed there for 5 months. He was off of work for 2 months. He said, I feel bad. This is where the money comes in. He said, honey, I feel bad. I feel bad leaving you and going back to work. So me with a big heart, and now that he's my husband, and I understand he was making something like $300 a month. During that time, I have a son. My son is 39 now. He had like 2 or 3 cars in my name. I had my car. I was paying car insurance. I was paying $675 a month, unwillingly, but I felt like I was put in that position. So in my mindset, when I was there, I said to my husband, well, honey, you don't have to go back to work. Because my thing is, I love this man. I love this man dearly with every being of my soul. I said, if I can pay $675 on the protest, give my husband $300 a month. So I tell my husband, better yet, I'll give you $400 a month. That's how this $30,000 came into play. I had no idea what the value of the money was there and how far and extensive the money went. All I knew is I love this man. I knew that between being in America and being in Africa, it was a totally different experience. And I wanted to make sure, like I told him, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I want to see you win. I got you. If it meant like whatever he like, it's like if I give him $400 and he was like, oh honey, at the Napa, I don't have no light. Oh honey, I don't have no credit on my phone. Oh honey, I don't have no food. I would even extend and send extra money because I wanted to make sure that my husband was good. I wanted to make sure that he was not being, lacking in any kind of way. Yeah, I know this should have been his job, but when I signed up for this, I knew that my money here in the States went much further than the money there. So me as an individual having a big heart and having a love for Africa, I wanted to see this black man win. I wanted to see this black man come to the States. I wanted to see him be all that he wanted to be in life. That's how hard I went for him. And that's how hard I made myself available for him. So he came here. So I'm gonna go fast forward. So in November, he went for his his interview. He didn't get it because I don't file taxes. I have the income, but I don't pay taxes. So I have two sons, 32 and 39. They and even other people were not for me engaging or entertaining his marriage. Again, being an older woman, like I don't know about all them scams out there. I don't know about people saying like Nigerians are bad, Nigerian this, Nigerian that. People have come to me and started saying some stuff, and I was like, not my husband. I didn't see it. No, I didn't see no scam. I didn't see none of this. Like I bet my life. I bet my life on this man because the way he talked to me, the way he was attentive. We talked every day. Every day he loved me. To me, he had this kind of meek, mild manner, but then he has a passive, like what you were saying, what the gentleman had said about, we will love you, but if you challenge us, we will give you double. Okay. It seemed as though to me, African women are brought up and taught to be submissive and to be the wife and to be like all these different things of different from the way American women are. American women are brought up to be independent. A lot of times, like I raised my two boys by myself. And when it came for me fighting to get my husband here, I went like a lioness. I don't have no, like November, he didn't get approved. In December, January, no, we waited. In February, I engaged further. I wrote the congressman. I said, okay, so in November, so when they said I need a joint sponsor, like I was saying before, my sons, they was not for this. But my oldest son said to me, Mom, if that's what's going to make you happy, because I asked him, would you be a joint sponsor? And he sent me the papers back really quick. He Googled it. He said, Mom, this is what I'm going to be responsible for. I'm going to be responsible for 10 years and all of this and all of that. He said, but Mom, if that's what's going to make you happy, he said, I'll sign for you. Because he knew, I don't care what nobody said. I never went against my husband. I don't care what you said about scamming. Not my husband. This ain't the kind of husband that I have. He's a Christian man, and he had all these ethics and values and morals and principles, and all this stuff is what I was. It was because I've never dated African men. I just have American men, and American men are not like the African man. I love how prideful the African man is, and like I told anybody, I accept the culture. I accept the fact that he said when I pass away, he's gonna bring me back to the compound. It gave me a feeling of attachment. It gave me a feeling of belonging. Being here in America, I never had no sense of belonging to anything. So that was just like, it was just so rewarding, refreshing, connecting. And so it's like I tell people, in spite of my bad experience, I would have loved to have me an African man. It just, unfortunately, I picked the wrong damn one. Because now I feel like I'm caught up in the midst of being afraid, but at the same time, still have a desire to have an African man as my mate. So in November, my son signed the joint sponsor. I submitted it. In February, I wrote the congressman. He sent forward the information to the consulate. 4 days later, my husband got approved. 4 days later. Okay, but during the midst of all of this, there were times like I was sending him money like every month. I was sending him money. I pay for his ticket. He lives in Owerri. I pay for the connecting flight. He had to go